In 2014, I would watch a lot of anime and read a lot of manga that have influenced me today. This would include My Bride is a Mermaid, Nichijou, Haganai, Squid Girl, and for today's video, I'd like to talk about Yokai Watch. So Yokai Watch released back in Japan in 2013 from Level 5. Level 5 is a game company who would release games such as Professor Layton, Inazuma 11, and LBX or Little Battlers Experience. I didn't know about their games growing up at the time as I was a Nintendo fan, but I didn't know much directly about Level 5. When I met eyes with Yokai Watch around in 2014, something about it just clicked to me. I was a fan of the Pokemon series at the time, so this Yokai Watch being a monster catching RPG, in this case, I was watching the anime subbed in Japanese. It caught my eye. The humor was pretty comedic. It had a little bit more of a teen kind of humor to it compared to Pokemon, at least in the Japanese sub. Once the anime would be dubbed over here in English, it would be more aligned with what the Pokemon series is known for. However, it was a mix of slice of life and comedy that attracted me to Yokai Watch. It was very Japanese at its core, which appealed to me as I was getting into anime and manga at the time, and it had a really nice anime style to it, as were Level 5's games at the time. It would be this love for Yokai Watch that made me interested in Yokai Watch for the Nintendo 3DS, which didn't release in the West until 2015. I remember seeing this in the 2015 Nintendo Direct and being surprised that this game was finally coming over here. I looked forward to Yokai Watch. I was going to get it around release, but then something happened. I played the Yokai Watch demo, and I didn't like it. The battle system was this real time combat where you use a wheel to spin your yokai, and it didn't appeal to me. The game's mission structure was a little bit strange, but it was a demo, so it at least gave you a taste of how it would work. And overall, it just didn't leave much of an impression for me. It wouldn't be until about 2016 or so where I'd finally pick up Yokai Watch and give it a chance. And from there, my love for the series became more than just the anime. Yokai Watch encompasses a slice of life anime style in the perspective of a Japanese child throughout their childhood. It is akin to the Pokemon series in that regard of having a 10-year-old boy or girl go on an adventure. However, compared to Pokemon, Yokai Watch would be grounded in this big town that you were able to explore. Multiple areas out there, from beaches to malls to the woods to haunted mansions. It encompassed a massive open world that was possible on the Nintendo 3DS. And with this, I sunk a lot of hours into Yokai Watch. The original Yokai Watch is about 25-hour game, but I looked recently at my 3DS playtime and I believe I have around 75 hours in the original Yokai Watch, which is pretty impressive. I adore the game's soundtrack. It is incredible proof that Level 5 makes amazing music. The game's visuals are very striking. It's very colorful with anime cutscenes and anime style to this 3D cutscenes. And the even if the battle system was not the best, as I'm not a fan of real-time combat, I enjoy the little mini games you were able to do, and it used the 3DS's touchscreen, which not a lot of 3DS games used a lot. And with this, Yokai Watch 1 became one of my favorite 3DS memories and one of my favorite 3DS games. With this love for Yokai Watch, I would follow suit with the next few games. I would buy all three versions of Yokai Watch 2, which is Bony Spirits, Fleshy Souls, and Psychic Specters. I love Yokai Watch 2. However, my biggest problem with that game is that it takes a while for the game to start getting into the new content. So if you were someone like me who played Yokai Watch 1, you beginning few chapters would just have you go around the town, basically a recap of the original Yokai Watch. And I just wanted to get to the new content, as the game would be a time traveling adventure where you'd go into the past to stop events happening in the present. And with that, I would spend less time with Yokai Watch 2. It's about a 25 to 30 hour game in comparison, but it is one of my favorite games on the 3DS as well. I didn't watch the Yokai Watch anime anymore, but I did keep up with the games. But the next Yokai Watch game in the West was Yokai Watch Blasters, which is a multiplayer action RPG based off the Ghostbusters, which I did not play. And considering its price nowadays, I'm not interested. I played the Blasters mode in Yokai Watch 2, and I did not like it. It's kind of like this weird action RPG top-down dungeon crawler where you run around and fight monsters and work with friends. So I did skip out on Yokai Watch Blasters. And then lastly, my Yokai Watch adventure would end with Yokai Watch 3, which, hate to say it, I did not finish Yokai Watch 3. My biggest problem with Yokai Watch 3 is that this game is very slow and bloated. It takes about 45 hours to finish Yokai Watch 3, which is insane. And then you look at what you get dual campaigns with Nate and Katie, and it's just not that interesting. His campaign involves going around the town in Yokai Watch 1 and doing these little fetch quests, which is I mean, this is the third time I'm in the same map doing the same thing, so it's not that interesting. And then with Nate's campaign, you just end up going on a little mystery around Barbecue County, which is cool, but then they bring up the dreaded thing that I do not like in Yokai Watch 2, which is the key quests, where you have to do these side quests, which they're not really side quests, they're actually main quests that you have to do to open up the main quest you have to do for the campaign. So it's not even like side quests, it's like forced side quests. And with that, my Yokai Watch journey would end here. I did not play Yokai Watch 4 as it did not get localized in the West. And while there's an English patch, I am currently unable to play it. And with that, I just look fondly on these memories with Yokai Watch, and this is my entryway into Level 5's work. I've played some of their other games, such as LBX, which I thought was alright. Its sequel, LBXW, which was pretty great. Professor Layton and the Curious Village, which is pretty good. And some other games, like Ni no Kuni, Dragon Quest VIII, Rogue Galaxy, and so on. It's a shame that after Yokai Watch 3, Level 5 seemed to fallen off. Ni no Kuni 2 wasn't really praised all that well. Then they would close down their localization branch, which would suck. And most of the games that did come out were just Professor Layton. I remember playing Catriel and thinking that was pretty bad. You had the trilogy on mobile, which is great, but it never came to consoles. The Snack World, heard also was pretty bad. And it would be a bunch of games released in Japan that we wouldn't see from Level 5. Unfortunately, they did come back with games such as Megaton Musashi Wired and the upcoming releases of Fantasy Life and Professor Layton. But I just think that Yokai Watch had something special compared to all their other series. It was able to capture the childlike wonder you would feel at the time, along with being a game tailor-made to the Nintendo 3DS hardware, with the wide world you could explore, online battles and trading you can do with your friends, along with a unique battle system that would only be done utilizing the Nintendo 3DS's touchscreen. And with that, I gotta give my thanks to Level 5, Nintendo, and Yokai Watch for being one of my favorite games of all time and influencing who I am today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a good rest of your day.